Hello everyone, I'm Gaia and I'll be your host for this discussion. I wanted to make a discussion video regarding Armored Core 6 as we get closer to the release date, because my outlook is more of that on the still new player kind of experience, or at least a player who has limited experience with both series. I've only played Armored Core Verdict Day and Dark Souls 1, and a lot of debates are saying it's Souls or it's Armored Core, and we've kind of moved past that a bit, and now it's a debate on the mechanics and how it's just not an Armored Core game. Now, I don't know if it is or isn't, because the only one I've played was Verdict Day. And there have been a couple articles and a lot of different videos out saying that it definitely has a hard lock on because of how fast the turning is and how fast the character player model turns with the camera to face all of the hard lock on targets. And something I do want to point out is that I think some players may be missing the understanding that there's still settings within the game that might be able to adjust the overall gameplay feel, the hard lock on, and being able to change it to feel like a more traditional Armored Core game, because there's all sorts of different settings, camera settings in general, that you can mess with to make it either harder or easier for you to play the game in general. And while it's not traditionally how Miyazaki has, done things for a lot of the games he's been a part of, it's still a possibility that those settings are available because a lot of different games have those settings. And as far as the repair kits go, or the resupply mid-mission and being able to change your arsenal or your Armored Core, I feel like that's still part of what Armored Core was, or is. And for me, it's not just about that, but it's about just the robots and the gigantic scale of everything we've seen. While some of the aspects may be different, for me personally, I still love it. I mean, the scale of everything that we see, just being able to have something gigantic that could crush me just by stepping on me, it's just so fascinating just to see something on that big of a scale. I remember in Armored Core Verdict Day, the final boss, and I remember going through literal days of figuring out builds to figure out what worked and what didn't. And for me, it was just an amazing experience, and the joy I got from it is just indescribable. If that level of challenge and ingenuity is kept in Armored Core 6, I think it'll still be an amazing game to play. I mean, even if it isn't Armored Core or Dark Souls, I'm of the mind that we can still play the game and enjoy it. I'm not an expert in either of the series, and I'm never going to claim them to be. Like, that's just how it is. And I do want to point out that From Software did do this grand reveal of the world being set ablaze and saying let the final cinder burn, or something to the extent. And I can see how that pulled a lot of people's, see, let the last cinders burn, that right there. I can definitely see how people got the impression that it could have been a Dark Souls into Elden Ring DLC, and they were super hyped about it, and then all of a sudden the wool gets pulled over the eyes and it's Armored Core. And some people are like, what the hell's Armored Core? And for me, that's funny. I find that extremely hilarious that they did that on purpose. And I think people may have overlooked that. They did it on purpose to have this big discussion about it, to have this ability to discuss whether it's going to be more like Souls or Armored Core. And I think they did that absolutely on purpose, without a doubt. I do want to point out in a video I had watched a little while back, just like within the last couple days or so, from Pink Tusked Mammoth, he had specifically said, we're really just going to have to wait for the game to come out. And from my understanding, he's more of a veteran in both series than I will ever be. He does amazing videos. You can find his link down in the description below. And I'm of the same mind of, we're just gonna have to wait and play it for ourselves and see if we like it or not, and decide for ourselves whether it's the Armored Core experience or the Dark Souls experience. And I think that also comes down to whether or not you like one or the other more. With that being said, that's really all I got to say as someone who has a very limited experience in both series. So, thank you for joining me in this small discussion, me just like kind of giving my thoughts on it from a more limited experienced player in either series. Just like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you guys think, whether or not you're veterans or just of similar experience of myself that are just wanting to enjoy the game and are just tired of everyone debating on all the mechanics or whether it's this or that, or I mean, just let's just enjoy it.